Welcome to Networks Professionals.
Okay, so you're starting out in IT, and man, it can feel like you're staring at a giant, confusing map, right? There are so many different paths, so many certifications to choose from. Well, today we're going to clear up one of the biggest questions people have. So, what's it going to be? Do you go for the solid foundation of the CCNA, or do you shoot for the stars with the Google Cloud Architect certification? You've probably asked yourself this. By the end of this explainer, you're going to have a really clear answer, one that fits you and your career goals. So, let's get into it. All right, first things first. You got to build the house before you can decorate it, right? So, we're going to start with the bedrock of IT, the Cisco CCNA. And there's a really, really good reason we're starting here. It's all about that foundation. So what is the CCNA really? Well, think of it like learning the grammar of the internet. It's this globally recognized certification that basically proves you get the fundamentals. How data actually gets from point A to point B, from your laptop to a server on the other side of the planet. And this isn't just a bunch of textbook theory either. This is the real, practical, hands-on stuff. You're learning how to route traffic, how to chop up networks with subnetting, the basics of security, and maybe most importantly, how to figure out what's wrong when things break. You're basically learning the nuts and bolts of how the internet really works. And once you have those skills, suddenly a whole bunch of doors start to open. The CCNA is pretty much a direct ticket to jobs like network engineer or IT support engineer. It's like a big sign for employers that says, hey, this person knows their stuff and can jump right in. Okay, so we've poured the concrete for our foundation. Now let's look up, way up. It's time to talk about building the skyscraper on top of it, the Google Cloud Professional Cloud Architect certification. And you got to catch the most important word here, advanced. Yeah, this is not a beginner's certification. This one proves you have the chops to actually design, build, and manage these big, complex, secure cloud systems on Google's platform. It's the difference between driving a car and being the engineer who designed the whole thing. So as a cloud architect, you're thinking big picture. It's all about strategy. You're the one making the huge decisions about networking, about storage. You're constantly tweaking things to save money and boost performance, and you have to make sure the whole system is secure and can handle massive growth. You're pretty much the master planner of the digital world. And you know what comes with that kind of big picture responsibility? A big picture pay track. Seriously, let's be clear. Cloud architect jobs are consistently some of the highest paying gigs in all of IT. Not just here, but everywhere. It's a super valuable, super in-demand skill to have. Okay, so we get what these certs are all about and why you'd want them, but how do you actually, get them? Let's crunch some numbers and look at the practical side of things. All right, let's look at the exams head-to-head. The CCNA is going to set you back about $300, and it's a mix of multiple choice questions and these really practical lab simulations. The Google Cloud Architect exam, on the other hand, is a little cheaper, around $200, and it's a 2-hour test. So what's it take to pass? Well, for the CCNA, you need to score about 825 out of 1,000. For most people starting out, that means hitting the books for about 2 to 4 months. Now, for the Google Cloud Architect, they don't give an exact score, but it's estimated to be around 70%. And because it's more advanced, you're probably looking at a good 3 to 6 months of study time. This really tells the whole story, doesn't it? The CCNA is your ticket to those crucial foundational jobs. Google Cloud gets you into those specialized, really high-demand roles. But check out what happens when you have both. That's when you become what everyone in the industry calls a very strong professional. You're the person who can connect the old world of physical networks with the new world of the cloud. And here's the good news. No matter which one you're working on, you're making a smart move. These aren't just some random certs. They are globally recognized. We're talking top companies in tech, in finance, in telecom. They all know and respect these credentials. You're building a resume that can take you anywhere. All right, so we've looked at the roles, the exams, the career paths. We have all the puzzle pieces on the table. Now, let's put them together and map out the absolute best strategy for you. And this is maybe the most important takeaway of all. The best path isn't choosing one or the other. It's about the order. It's a sequence. Step 1, you start with the CCNA. You build that solid, absolutely essential foundation in networking. Then, and only then, do you move on to specialize with something advanced, like the Google Cloud Architect. And this really just wraps it all up perfectly. As the experts say, if you combine both, you become a very strong IT professional. It's that combination, the network foundation plus the cloud specialization, that makes you a powerhouse in the job market. So the big idea here is simple: foundation first, then specialize. It's not just that networking knowledge is nice to have for a cloud job. No, it actually makes you a better cloud architect. Think about it. That IP subnetting you learned for the CCNA, that's the exact skill you'll need to correctly set up a virtual private cloud, a VPC, in Google Cloud. That foundation means you're not just following a tutorial, you actually understand why you're doing it. So the path forward is pretty clear, right? You start with that solid, unbreakable foundation. The only question left is, what amazing thing are you going to build on top of it?
Thanks for watching.